Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream Park. Gulfstream today, Ron Nicoletti, along with Samantha Perry. Brian's got the afternoon off, and I hope everybody out there changed their clocks so they've been here for an hour.
Yeah, you keep talking
the right
about
way?
changing them back. I think they do it on their own now, but I know in a earlier time.
I knew she'd start. She started right in the first race here.
You
We
used to have
always
to do
judge, or at least I've been coming to Gulfstream for many, many years. When you cross over the train tracks, if there's a big puddle,
Off the
we're
grass.
usually off the grass, so it poured here, and that's the case today. Fast main track, no turf racing, but we got some good races on the Tapeta and, of course, on the fast main track. Anything else? We'll get right into it.
Well, the Rainbow Six, we
Yeah.
had some singles yesterday, and what's crazy is your single and your ticket that closed out the Rainbow was the only horse with not a single, which is interesting to me.
And that horse, I couldn't believe that horse went up 4-1 in that
know,
race,
yeah.
but that's for another day. So the first race today, originally scheduled for 1 mile on the turf, now to be run at 1 mile and 70 yards on the Tapeta. These are fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, which have never won a couple. You're going to scratch the 4, the 5, the number 7, and note there's a jockey change on number 9, Dialect. Make that rider Edgard Zeiss. I just looked up real quick and saw 1-5 on the 10 horse there.
Ooh.
Let's see if Brian used it in his early pick 5. Brian's not here, but his tickets always are.
They are.
He did. We'll talk about that race in a moment. Second race, he's got the logical 2, Our Hot Mess, first-time starter, looks like a major player. A race number 3, he's got, what does he have, 2 and 7. The 7 looks pretty good for me. Let's get Frosty, Safi. Fourth race, he's got a lot of courses in there. He's going to use them all. And his single is Battle Drum in the 5th race, that one off the turf.
Yeah, it's a $48 ticket, a nice little anchor at the end, and I'm playing against that horse, but you can go either way in race number 5.
Yeah, I think I did the opposite too.
Yeah.
But hey, Brian does a good job, so we'll see how it plays out. Now, getting to this race, did you start with the 10?
I started with the 9.
Me too. I was like, I can't believe I didn't have the 10. I don't know what I missed. So let's start with that number 9. That's Dialectic, the one that's going to be ridden by Edgard Zeiss.
Yeah, this is my best bet today, and these odds will change. It's still so early,
Yeah.
but I love the fact that they claimed this horse, and this horse, she's got speed. Now on the move to the Tapeta, that will play so well for her.
Yeah, so if you look a couple back, she was beat by Bubbly Champagne. I guess Bubbly Champagne in here that you have in second, I seem to have missed, is Victor Barboza Jr. comes off that second. It's first off the claim for him.
Right.
I think
Yeah, and that's big. I mean, but still, Jose D'Angelo is a great trainer. Just claiming 1-5, that's short. But like you said, it's early.
Well, when I was looking at this race, on the turf, I was worried about Bellwether on the outside, but with the scratches on the inside, you go back. This is Safi Joseph Jr., very consistent horse. He needs to come from off the pace, and as you mentioned, a couple of horses in here have speed. Maybe it sets up for this horse who's no longer have to worry about the outside post moving 4 spots in.
Yeah, that's going to help big time here, and we know he likes the Tapeta because he's hit the board on it, and that's a big thing to consider in the opener.
Well, we're going to flip the page and go to race number 2. We're going to sprint on the Tapeta today at 5 furlongs. Easy Maiden, Claim his fillies and mares, 3 and up, scratch the 4, Mrs. Brad Street, and we both started it off. I think you sort of got to look at Our Hot Mess. We know the connections.
Yep.
Everybody that's run didn't have it for me, so I
yeah, there's something to be said about a race where the first-time starter looks the most talented on paper, because the horses that have run, wow, they are really not that great. The only one that I thought that maybe had a good chance was the 5 horse, but she's coming back really quick. So I don't know. The 2 looks really live here.
And Brian has an early pick 4 ticket.
Yeah, he does. He'll probably tweet. Yeah,
he'll tweet it out.
Yeah.
He probably did already. It's just probably a rehash of what he did with the early pick 5. So wide open race there. We'll go to race number 3, and this one is a 5 furlong sprint on the Tapeta once again. Maiden Claimers, and these are fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. There are no scratches in this race, and we started off. Well, let's start it off with the 7. Get Frosty.
Yeah, this horse looks definitely the one to beat, right, Ron?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a huge drop in class. And you found a stat with Safi. You've been stat boying it up this week, well, all month, really.
This is a good one. Look at this. Maiden special weight to maiden claimers going from dirt to Tapeta over the last 3 years. Oh, he's only 38%, 69%. But you knew it would be good. It's just something when you see it in print, it sort of jumps off the page at you.
It does, and it's something that you can't see from your form, so that helps so much. This is a perfect outside post, and congratulations to the connections yesterday, because the C2 group in Safi Joseph with Sullivan Angel. Wow.
Still can't believe that race.
I know.
We'll show it a little later on. Well, that was great. Now we got a video with Commencement, who's the number 5 in here, that I have in second, you have in third.
Yeah, this was a good effort last time out. On the rail is not where you want to be at all, and unfortunately this filly had drawn the rail 3 times in a row actually. Now she gets off of it for the first time. I mean, that's huge, Ron. This is a huge player in this race. Look at her. It's just kind of almost like her feet are stuck in the Tapeta here, right?
Yeah, it looked that way. It was very slow on the inside that particular day, and Brian pointed it out to us when he found this. So certainly a major player in here. And what did you see with the number 1 horse? And it's Goddess Minerva. And this one, 25,000. Once again, Gerald Bennett, what a meet he's having. I think he's 26, 27%.
Yeah, he's having an incredible meet. And we talked about it yesterday too, Ron, that when these two team up, this jockey-trainer combination, they're striking at over a 30% rate. And the ROI is really good too.
Yeah, they'll catch on sooner or later, I think.
I hope, yeah.
A little on British Empress, I want to just touch on it very, very lightly here. British Empress, getting the blinkers on this afternoon for Lauren Robson. I thought that was a good race back in August. I remember we watched this race. It looked like the wind just got a little leg weary in the stretch. I think this spot, 25, coming off the bench, might be good for this horse.
Yeah, and the good news is she's been freshened up since then. She had a few races back-to-back that I think maybe kind of burned her out a little bit, not physically speaking, but mentally sometimes that can get to a filly. And I think that the little bit of freshening up will help.
Yeah, I think so, and I think it's a really good spot at 25. Going to race number 4, it is going to be stretching it out to 1 mile and 70 yards. On the Tapeta, these are claimers, 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races. Couple of scratches in there, the 540 Flash and the number 6 Dr. Perry. And of course, when we're done here, track announcer for the next couple of weeks, Darren Gagne will be updating you with all the scratches and everything you need here. And we both went with the number 7 in here. Hey, River.
Yeah, Hey River. This horse has nice tactical speed. Loves the Tapeta, 2 for 4, and then 1 third-place finish, so just not off the board. That's a great sign here. You get Mika Husbands in the saddle. Wow, what a job he's done. And you get some weight off, and that will help.
And the turnback. We talked about the mild 70 to mild 16. Sometimes that really helps a horse, so a logical one in there. What'd you see with the number 9 team captain?
I think maybe you have to just consider this horse due to the fact that, 1, he's coming off of a win. 2, you get Paco Lopez aboard, which is a big asset to have in your corner here, a perfect outside post. He can maybe just sit right off of the 7.
Yeah, so, and you got, like you said, top connections here with Jose D'Angelo, maybe the 4 Belly of Jelly you look at for Herbie Miller. This horse always runs his race, but it seems he's stuck in 4th.
It does. He literally stuck in 4th gear, right?
Yeah. And I always wanted to be a doorman. That's the number 3 horse. Of course, I had some interest in it. Don't ask me. I thought it was a cool job. Drops in. I don't know where that came from.
I'm not sure
Gets his claiming tag sliced in half. Wouldn't that be nice? He will open the door. Welcome, ma'am.
You'd be great at it. In fact, I think they have an opening here. You could start to be the usher for the suites. We won't do
boy,
that.
It's going to be a long day. Well, we'll go to race number 5. 5th race was originally scheduled for 7.5 on the turf, now to be a mile 70 yards on the Tapeta. And it is, we're going to scratch the 4, the 8, 11, and number 12 in here. And this is where the Tropical Now Tapeta pick 3 will start for Samantha.
It will. I've got kind of a condensed play just due to the surface switch. We had a scratch in the last, which knocked my ticket down, and I'm just singling the 8 in race 11. And this race we'll get into in race number 8. Just 2 of them for me. The 11, Light Fury, just looking to come right back and win again. I don't know how that'll play out because Rohan Crichton had another horse draw in as well with the 13, but these are the 2 I'm going to go with.
And in the last race, that number 8, Poseidon. No, race number 11. I thought we got 11 today. That is Refugiata.
Yeah.
So, yeah, going back to this race here, interested to see with the scratches how it played out for you in here. I think you had a horse that you liked in here a bit, Realtor.
Yeah, and we both have long shots here, which is great. Realtor, to me, I was excited to see on the grass, but I think on the Tapeta should be just fine because the sales work back in June of this horse was really good on the Tapeta, and they had gotten rain in Ocala that day. There were puddles on the Tapeta, and this horse just skipped across it super easy. You have a Misael that lands here. That's a good sign. The price now with the scratches and the surface change, I don't know if we'll get 10-1, but anywhere thereabouts, 5-1 and up, I'm going to bet.
Yeah, as you mentioned, my long shot is the horse accident you have in second. Interested to see how this plays out with the move to the Tapeta. Authentic Kingdom, this is John Service. You know, he comes off a really nice race, this horse at Delaware, albeit on the turf. But you just look at first time that John Service brings a horse here. He's 19%. He's got a good ROI of over $3. That's first time start at Gulfstream during the year. And he's sort of rolling in here with his horses. So I played the percentage. I think this horse can run. Going to be ridden today by Samuel Madden.
Yeah, and I was telling Brian yesterday, he's a really good jockey. Yep, I was there at Monmouth whenever he started. He does well at Tampa. So happy to have him here for just a little bit. He tries very hard, and he puts horses in the right spot.
And we got a video we want to show of Battle Drum. Hey, Todd Pletch won off the turf yesterday too. So let's see.
He did, which was kind of, I was shocked
at
that.
I think everybody was.
Yeah, but here he is on the Keeneland turf course. This was a really big effort, especially because this horse had only had one start. They didn't really bet this horse too much last time out. He was just kind of stuck. It looked like he was going to win from here, but when you have a nice horse that can just close in on you, that was States Right that day, who was 6-5, by the way, so was supposed to win. This is a great effort.
There might be something that I don't know if we ever saw here before. Probably did, but I don't remember it. Not one of these horses left in the race has ever been on a synthetic track.
Wow. See?
So a lot of guesswork. I kept looking, and I wrote it down. I said,
You're right, yep.
So I don't think anyone, they've all grass. So that's going to make it more interesting in that particular fifth race. So that's it for the first 5. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have our Rainbow 6 ticket.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today, Ron and Samantha. I was holding the door there before we came back on. We're going to have a 6th race this afternoon. Well, I'll say this morning. It will be in the afternoon. A mile in the 16th on the Tapeta. It's a starter option. She always gets me going, this one. 3-year-olds and 3-year-olds, right? Is this straight 3-year-olds? Oh, up
3 and up, yeah.
3 and up, yeah. Scratch the 1 Grand David in here. Let's look at my Rainbow 6 ticket. Had a lucky day, a little lucky day, so I boosted it up to 57.60 today. We will talk about this 6th race in a moment. Race number 7 went 3 deep in there. My top pick is the 4 Coldstream. In race number 8, I don't think I ever had this collection of numbers on my ticket, 10, 11, 12, and 13. I think that will come off the turf, and I think those are actually the logical horses in there. So I was a little confused. You mentioned the 13, Rohan Crichton, another one getting in. I threw him in. Good. Race number 9, I went with the just 2 there, 5, 6. Boy, I went with Break the Ice. Good luck.
yeah, that's a guesswork
That's
race.
a tough one. And in the 10th race, Smiley Poe is on top from Viva David Forks. And in the last race, I'm going to go with the number 2 horse in there, Aracima, for Jorge Abreu. Oh, there's a guy that's been going good.
Yeah, you're right, and I kind of missed that horse too, so I'm glad you have him in.
Yeah, so we'll see how it plays out. 57.60, not my norm, but what the heck? Let's get some money for the weekend. Our weekend.
Our weekend, yeah.
This race, what did you go with?
Went, yeah, good. You did the same. I did the 3 on top, Lights of Broadway, because I think that this horse now, Pete Walder, is actually kind of coming back into form. He was quiet for a little bit, and now the horses are picking up, and he kind of gave him a little bit of time off, which I like. I like a couple of months of a freshening up and a second place finish last time out. This horse is in a good spot.
And Peter Walter does it a lot.
Yeah.
He freshens the horses up after claiming. I think he claimed 2 yesterday, so he's
Yeah.
building up his barn, and Peter always a threat down here. Then you got the 5, Tis the Bomb in here. This one, we both have in second. We've got a replay we want to show you of Tis the Bomb.
It's funny because this race here, you and I talked about it on air. We were like, I don't know why they're betting this horse so much
Right.
because he had not really run a step at all. They dropped him in class. Only $10,000, and he won. I mean, the word was out. We didn't get it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
They put the blinkers on him.
Yeah, they did, and I'm just kind of shocked at this. It was like a completely different horse with the blinkers on, and Paco Lopez did a good job with him. He didn't have to do much, to be honest, because he just galloped home.
He
Can he
did.
do it again today? I don't know.
Paco only looked back 22 times, so it was sort of a record. No, teasing Paco, which I like to do. And then you got, this pretty nice race. It's a short field, but a couple of ways you can go, and that's why I went 3 deep with my Rainbow Six. The other horse I had some interest, we got the same 3, was American Speed for Shivananda Parbu. And, he claims this horse for the 16. Hey, let's take a shot at 35. Get speed and neck.
Yeah, exactly, and that's great to see now. It's stepping up even more, but hey, in a field like this, especially like you said, it's condensed. That helps.
Yeah, and if you get a horse like that, it's going to be a little bit of a price over the first 2.
Right.
Helps your Rainbow Six. With that said, we will go to race number 7. We're going to sprint 6 furlongs on a fast main track, maiden claimers, and these are 3-year-olds and upward. And Samantha has a late pick 5 ticket she wants to show you.
Yep, I do, and I am singling in the last race just because we had another scratch earlier that I just was using too. But race 8, I do have the 11 on top. Hey, if you want to add in the 13, I do think that's a horse, would throw on Crichton drawing in. Race number 9, I've got the 4 and the 5 too. I think you had the 6 as well. But wow, I don't know what to do in that race. We'll get into it. I don't have any opinion. Race number 10. These are just straight 2-year-olds, which is exciting. I'm spreading a bit. I do have the 4 Paradise Winds on top for Mike Trombetta, and in race number 11, I do scratch into the 8 Refugiata, $24.
$24, very affordable, in that late pick 5 ticket. And we'll start it off here in race number 7 with I went with Coldstream on top. Is
I
that
did
what you
too.
went there? So Coldstream looked like the logical one. First time starter. $350,000.
Yeah, that was a big price for this horse. Now he's 4 years old and has not yet made it to the races. It's interesting when you look up his works. He's been with Safi not all this whole time, but since 2022 he's been breezing and has still not made the races. So hey, let's see today. He breezes nice. He's 4-year-old making a debut. So pay attention to the tote board.
I had a similar situation with Justified Philly, who never got to the races.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You did, yeah.
4-year-old she was working, never made it to the races, but we'll see how that plays. Yeah, Coldstream looks pretty tough in there. Let's go to number 7, Nando, who can run well in here. He's just on the drop. They tried him, made him special weight, comes off the bench. Shows that speed, backs up a little bit. What do we get today?
I think a sharper effort at least because he did some hard work on the front end, and I think he kind of paid the price for it late. Now, I will say I didn't particularly like that race. God's Timing on Friday came back, didn't really run too well.
Right.
But I still think it's a logical horse.
Yeah, it's like that natural progression, shows some speed, second start, should run well. Black Fury for Ruben Sierra, going to take a drop. He was in state bred, maiden special weight. This horse was facing winners.
I know.
All the time.
Yeah.
I don't understand why. Now they put in 50 made, and maybe this is finally the spot
Yeah.
in race number 13.
Yeah, it could be, but 13 is a lucky number for some.
Well, they had to think that this horse can run well against
Right.
winners to put him in there. So something you got to look at
Yep.
in there. Race number 8 this afternoon. This one was really a good one. It's coming off the turf now. It's going to be a mile 70 yards. It is a claiming race, and it's for 3-year-olds and upward. We're going to scratch the 2 Artemis Bridge, the 5 Nantasket Beach, which was my best bet this afternoon, a Color Dream, 7 Indy Lion, and the 13, as we've been mentioning, Wicked Genius, who's got really good form
Yeah.
on the all-weather surface. So that's why you said maybe you want to throw that horse in. You started it off with number 11, I believe, Light Fury.
Yeah, and we'll see what Brian started it off
Oh,
with,
he's got
too.
his pick
He
four,
does
that's
have a
right.
pick four. It's $30. He doesn't know what to do here either, so there's not much interesting TV. Race 9, he's singling the 5. That horse is the likeliest winner. I don't know. In race 10 and 11, you can see he's got a little bit of coverage as well. A $30 ticket. I like that ticket.
And in that 9th race, you either got to take a stance
Yeah.
or take them all.
I know.
So
I wanted to hit the all ball.
Yeah, and that depends how much money you got in your pocket in here. So we see Brian's nice ticket there. But we'll now go to Light Fury for Rohan Crichton, and don't look at the 12-1. You're not going to get that today.
No, not at all. This horse has got great form right now. Came off of a victory at Colonial and came back to do it right again here. It was a race where they didn't bet him, which was kind of surprising for the Rohan barn, but they should bet him today, and he's got a lot of forward position ability, so I like that.
I liked Happy Runner on the drop today. That was my original thing, and also a horse that ran exceptionally well. He's got speed. We always mention if we get some rain, it sort of tightens up the Tapeta. This one's going to be, going to 16, I think, is the answer for Happy Runner.
Yeah, it really could be. This is a great drop for the Jerry O'Dwyer barn. I really wanted to see this horse on the turf, and I did have him originally. Actually picked him on top originally, Ron, so I see what you did. I get your thinking. He still has good Tapeta form. I don't want to take it away from him because he has a win on it. I just thought he was a bit better on the grass.
And the number 1 who you have in second, first time for Safi Joseph Jr., was running at Colonial for Maria Barastock coming here. Hey, going into Safi's barn with Michael Husbands, you got to like that.
Yeah, you do, and it's a barn that, you just have to kind of include, especially if you're playing a bit of a spread ticket. And to me, this is a spread race.
Yeah, and getting back to Wicked Genius, if you decide you're ever going to use this horse, in there, let's see what happens a little later on.
Yeah.
So that is next. We go to race number 9 now, I believe. Yes, mile in the 16th. Claimers. These are 3-year-olds and up. And I don't know if they changed my selections in that last race. I got to check that. 9th race today is a 1 mile and 1/16 Claimer for 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 races. Clean slate, no scratches. The word wide open comes to mind except for the 5.
Yeah. Okay. None of these horses that I could find, besides a couple of them, have run this distance of a mile and a 16th. Now that's 2 turns here.
Yeah.
A lot of them just run this one mile distance on the dirt, I should say. On the Tapeta, they run it all the time. But I don't know what we're going to get here. If I break the ice, he's been threatening to win a couple times. Is today the day?
Yeah, a short finish line. So you got to have, and this horse comes from off the pace.
Right.
Is there going to be enough time for him to close? Is somebody going to, set the table for
Right.
break the ice? That's why, it's wide open. Maybe you go with a horse like the number 6, for me, Orb Alpha for Padraig Lutchman. Going to take the blinkers off this afternoon. Maybe they're trying to throttle down his speed. We'll see how he runs.
Yeah, this horse, at least, if anything, he is one of the few that has done this a mile and a 16th distance, and it was against way, way better. This is his level for sure, and now we'll see if he can improve it. But, wow, his margin for error is very small.
And we jumped the gun a little as far as your selections. You did not put the 5 on top. You put the 4, Lee Mistral. I want to hear about that.
Well, I don't have anything really clever to add other than the fact that maybe, just maybe, that this mile and a 16th distance will help for the Gerald Bennett barn. We just talk about this barn so much that he's just doing a fantastic job. I'm just kind of taking a stab.
Yeah, that was the beaten favorite last time, and he didn't run a step that day. So we'll see. Very wide open. ninth race. Let's go to race number 10. A mile in the 16th on the Tapeta Allowance Optional Claimer. And this is a 2-year-old, like you said, straight 2-year-olds, makes it a nice little race in here. And Paradise wins. We'll start with your Smiling Poe first on top. Oh, Mark, let's start with Paradise wins because we got a replay we want to show.
Yeah, we do. And thanks, guys, for getting this. This horse was so gutsy to win at Laurel last time and won from this is a hard area to win from here because he kind of was in was in a lot of traffic, and it's not like they were going that fast, and she made a huge run to get the win here, which was shocking because you see where she is right now, the red cap there, not on the outside but on the inside, and when she tips out, she's got a devastating turn of foot here, Ron.
Yeah, she comes running good, really good. Great performance by her.
Yep.
And she comes running into your picture right now. And there you see her coming down the stretch, and she's trained, of course, by Mike Trombetta. And we will show you when that really nice performance, albeit on the grass. Here's the stat with Mike Trombetta. Turf to Tapeta over the past 5 years. He's got a big sampling, 21%, because he runs at Presque Isle. He runs at turf.
Right.
It's just not, to hear.
Right.
That's why you get such a big thing, and it's very, very positive.
Yeah, it is, which is a good sign here, and you can see by the replay, you can put her anywhere you want, I think, and she'll be able to get it done. Now, I don't want to see her that far back on the Tapeta, though. That's the only thing today.
Yeah, we'll see how she plays it out. And Mike's a sharp guy. He's leaving, this horse is going to run well leaving him in there today. I did go to the outside horse, David Fawkes with Smiling Poe. He's got outside. He's got speed. He's, the barn is top-notch. They've been doing well. So, we flip-flop our exacta.
Yeah, this is a horse you've got to use here because she has the Tapeta experience, and she faced a really tough runner. That hello was won 2 races in a row. So, she's a nice Tapeta filly.
And then you go, you don't know what you're going to get with the, number 2 horse in here, I think it's Curtu, Nino Hernandez Jr., ran okay on the Tapeta sprinting. We'll see what we get with the stretch out.
Yeah, I think the barn switch is a good move. At least we know that she can handle the Tapeta just fine. Now it's just the 2 turns. We'll
go to our final race. We got 11 today on the first day of whatever when you change the clock is called. And this one originally at a mile. It'll be a mile and 70 yards on the Tapeta Claimers. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Scratch the 9. Bet Stormy. Also note there's a jockey change in the 4. Make that rider Marcos Meneses in there. And you both had to do some shifting around here.
Yep.
Did you always have the 8 on top?
No, I didn't. I always had the 9, but the 8 now on the Tapeta. This is a big class drop for Victor Barboza. I think a big play. I needed an anchor somewhere, and this is a race where I could have used a lot more, but I think that this might be a good filly.
I also had the 9 on top of my ticket, and just, I scratched into the number 2, her Aracima in here. And Aracima, boy, this one on the turf. It's got to get some help up front for this horse.
Yeah, that's the problem with this mare is she is just leaves herself with way too much to do. I will say the race that she's coming out of, Rachel Song won yesterday. That was on the grass. Of course, Rachel Song won on the Tapeta. But anyway, we'll see what we get from her here today. But wow, she just closes from the clouds.
Yeah, I mean, it makes that race so much more wide open, And I think you do the right things. You either, you have an opinion, you make a ticket, unless you can't go all in every race. It would cost too much money.
Exactly.
So that's how we see the 11 races. And we're going to, we're not done. We have a really good lightning round this afternoon because we had some spectacular performances all around the country with Gulfstream horses.
Yeah, we really did, and we'll kick it off with Soul of an Angel because you and I, we watched it up here. She looked like she was going nowhere out of the gates from this, and this closing kick was very impressive.
Very impressive, and early on, if you get a chance, you can go to our site and look at the replay of this and just how far back this horse was.
Yeah, she was. And what's interesting is on those dirt races yesterday, nobody closed like she did, which is really impressive. And just congrats to the team. They do a good job. Of course, we got she got the win and you're in the Princess Rooney and right here at Gulfstream Park, and that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that has been very successful. Horses
Yeah.
that have run in the Princess Rooney have gone on to win Breeders' Cup races. So congratulations, Dr. Safi and C2, as you said. And what a great ride! What a great race that was.
It was, yep, and Drayden Van Dyke too.
That Drayden too was on, and that makes it even sweeter.
Yep, it does. And then yesterday on the grass course, we had 2 stakes races here from Gulfstream, and Naughty Rascal was very competitive in his first turf try.
Yeah, he ran exceptionally well in here. Tank was on the lead, and
Yep.
Naughty Rascal was just would not give it up in there. I of course had the 8, and I said, oh, he'll go by, but no,
Yeah.
Naughty Rascal was not letting anybody go by. I mean, this was such a great performance.
You know what? And it's frustrating for me because I've bet this horse all 3 times, and I've made some money with him
Right.
as well. I had him on top originally, Ron, and then Rohan Crichton got me because last week with the similar stakes race, but for the filly, for the boys, the 2-year-olds, remember General Aviator
Yeah.
won for him. I picked, it was doing the same thing, going from Tapeta to turf, and the horse won. So I said, oh, Rohan's not going to get me this time. And that's what happens. It's horse racing. We love this game.
Yep, and of course we had we closed the day out with another stakes race
we
yesterday
did.
on the grass.
Yeah, we did. And Silent Heart. This was Ron Single in the Rainbow Six, and nobody was alive to this horse,
Yeah.
which is amazing. I'm kicking myself for not betting it. I was
Right.
too busy betting Breeders' Cup, but
Yeah.
what a big race.
Yeah, and 4-1. I was shocked.
I'm
I went in there. I said, "Oh, the favorite won." They go, "No, he's not the favorite." I go, "What?" We showed a good stat.
Yeah,
you
this
know.
was your best bet. Brian
Best bet.
Lynch does a
Yeah.
great job here. They snuck that one by everybody,
Right.
including us. But we all had him on top. So
We all know, we all
tried.
did. All
We
3
tried.
of us had him on
and it was
top.
your best bet.
Yeah.
So
we did. Brian had his best bet pay 11-1, and his long shot pay 5-2 yesterday.
Isn't that funny?
Just how things
Yeah.
work out, So, best bet today for you?
In the opener, the number 9, Dialythic off the claim.
Yeah, mine was scratched in there. Long shot for you?
It is Realtor in race 5.
And I'm also in race number 5
Yeah.
and with a horse Authentic Kingdom, who's 12-1 in the morning line. I don't know if we're going to get 12-1 because the races come off the turf and gone to the Tapeta. It's a whole different world. Funny, that's the only race. I don't. We're going to look. Did we ever see a horse that no one had?
I know.
Tapeta
I don't think
form?
so. We haven't seen it in a long time, at least.
Well, we got the pick 5 starting, and we got Darren coming up now with all the scratches changes, and Samantha and I will be here throughout the afternoon. Good luck, everybody.